Find functional hilarity at the Biffa Emporium. Girl, it's what I heard. Allegedly, it's just the word. Allegedly, it's on the street. Allegedly, I sing to the beat. Allegedly, lee, lee, lee. Allegedly, lee, lee, lee. Allegedly, lee, lee, lee. Allegedly.
Well, there are a whole lot of hot topics today, so let's get to it. According to the blast, in debt news, PK and Dorit are no longer in debt. The $1.2 million judgment has been dismissed. Child, they was trying to seize everything. Well, your seizures are over for now. But according to the blast, they still owe taxes for 2014 and 2016, totaling $925,310.90. And the government wants their money. So, glad you ain't got to pay that $1.2 million, because now you can come up off that $900,000 for the government. Thousands of designer knockoff bags were seized in a raid at a Brooklyn flea market. 8 people were arrested and charged with selling counterfeit items. According to New York City Sheriff Joseph Fudico, more than 2,000 faux designer goods were seized from the Aqueduct Flea Market in East New York. Belts, pocketbooks, and watches that were Gucci, Versace, Hermes, and Louis Vuitton. The sellers were charged with trademark counterfeiting, unlicensed vending, both misdemeanors. Well, I guess if you're in Brooklyn, you can't head to the flea market for a fake bag anymore. Dennis Quaid, 65, is engaged to Laura Savoy, 26. And he looks like one of those healthy 65s, so you're gonna have to put up with him well into his 80s. Ugh. I just wonder, what do you talk about when you marry your grandfather? Put it in the comments. Let me know what you talk about when you marry your grandfather. Fans were surprised to see Kevin Durant get in an Uber. What the hell is he supposed to get in? I mean, he shouldn't be taking a pool, but yeah, he's getting in an Uber XL. He was in New York City. That's what you do. Oh God, Teresa and Joe are getting a special on Bravo where he's gonna call in from Italy and they're gonna talk about what's going on in their marriage. Well, their marriage is over, and what went on was fraud. So much fraud, he got kicked out of the country. The thing is, gorillas don't mate for life, so I know you both will find a similar simian to settle down with sometime soon. Similar simian. The Kardashians are no longer passionate about filming their show amid the ratings slump. Well, we're no longer passionate about watching it, so get the fuck on. We know you. Kim, you're married to the crazy one. Kourtney is the most uninteresting to look at amongst the three of you. And Cole Silverback Kardashian, well, she just can't keep a man. How long is that going to be interesting? Not very. Not very. They can't even pull in 1 million views an episode with that kind of press and promo. Also, it's the fact that you put everything out on social media before you put it on the show. So we done seen the shit before we see the shit. We've seen you take a shit. Like, we're done. We're no longer interested in your human experience. Okay, Radar Online, I like you, but I need you to make more sense. Angelina Jolie's Maleficent movie flops after Maddox goes to college. Those two things don't have anything to do with each other, and I heard Maleficent was good. Chris Brown is having a yard sale. So if you want a pair of 26 by 36 jeans that have a little bit of cocaine residue in the pocket, go ahead, honey, go ahead. Julian Castro says he may have to drop out of the presidential race. Well, nobody really gave a fuck about you. So that's probably a smart move. Issa Rae is still being coy about her engagement. I feel like that shit's rocky at this point because you've been engaged for a minute. So go on and keep it to yourself, girl. Go on and keep it to yourself. We really don't care. We just want to see your movies. I like that you keep your career about the work. So don't tell nobody nothing. We don't need to see the foolishness. The second Jill Scott and Monique got out here talking about their love lives, we got sick of them. So keep that under the tube. Paul Nassif from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills is getting married. And child, His new wife is such a step up from Adrian the Dragon Lady Maloof. I can't do nothing but congratulate him. He looks genuinely happy. Lori Harvey was texting and driving, flipped her G-Wagon, and got cited for hit and run. She wasn't arrested. She just had to sign a promise to appear at the scene. She wasn't drunk, but she was texting. How brandy of you. How brandy. You're lucky no one got hurt, because they would have taken your pappy for all he's worth. Then again, he's not your father. He kind of is your father. I don't know how that works, with succubi and supremes and last names. I'll tell you, though, that Prius you rear-ended, they gonna run your pockets. I know I would. If you hit me with a G-Wagon, I'm gonna be driving a G-Wagon to my condo that you also paid for. Molly Mall pleads guilty to running a prostitute business. He pled guilty to 1 count of use of an interstate facility in aid of unlawful activity, aka prostitute. He did it in Nevada, but he didn't have the proper license to peddle puss. He's gonna be sentenced January 21st for his pimping proclivity. Child, they should have kept him on Love and Hip Hop. That would have been a real plot line. Ooh, I guess that's why he was running around with Nicki Maduris. She had that strip club. One hand washing the other. Nene Leakes said her and Greg have an open marriage. Well, moose don't mate for life, so I'm not surprised that you're putting your antler up somebody else's alley. And let's not forget, you got Greg from his first wife, so you got him cheating, he gonna continue cheating. I don't know if Nene is really having orgasms like that, though. I think that's why she's always in such a bad mood. She hasn't had any good dick. Now they're saying Lori Harvey is dating Future. Child, I guess she just gonna make one bad decision after the next. But I heard she was already dating Future, then moved on to Trey Songz, then moved on to somebody else, then ended up diddling with Diddy. So now she's back to Future? Girl, you better watch out. Future gets you pregnant by sneezing. I don't even think he has sperm. I think he gets you pregnant by spores. Will Smith's Gemini Man is considered a flop, and the studio may lose $75 million. They deserve. We don't need to see people their current age and then, let's make you 20 years younger. I'm glad the audience said no. And when the audience says no, the money can't say yes. Cameron still talking about his relationship with Juju in raps. Child, he needs to either go back with her or get over her, but why are you still talking about it? It's old news. You moved on. You said she got too Instagram famous and, was all about the Love and Hip Hop life. You didn't want it, so you moved on. Stop whining about it, because she ain't talking about your ass. Okay, so, Gabrice Bryan is trying to be on her Candy Burris. She got her kids investing in Arizona's restaurant in Stonecrest, Georgia. They got desserts named after him and shit like that. It's very old lady gang. But get that coin, girl. Get that coin. Ooh, maybe they'll go visit Atlanta this season and we could get a Potomac Atlanta crossover episode. Now that would be some shit. Now it's time for today's top stories. Suge Knight sold his life story, his rights, to Ray J of all people. Sources say there's going to be a documentary, probably a biopic, about Suge and about Tupac. They're also discussing bringing back Death Row Records. That sorry-ass son ain't gonna make it on Love and Listings, so they need to do something. I could actually see Ray J turning this around. Also, they say Ray J is a Fruit Town Pyru. So he's about that celebrity gang life. Not the real gang life, but the celebrity gang life. And now the biggest story. A story as tall and as wide as the moose herself. According to B. Scott, Nene Leakes tried to spit on Kenya Moore during a massive fight over her friendship with Mock Daly. Sources who overheard the two fighting during the finale last week exclusively tell Love B. Scott that Kenya and Nene got into a major fight in Athens. Kenya confronted Nene after hearing she'd been talking to Mark behind her back, and things escalated quickly, with Nene telling Kenya that Mark said he doesn't even like her. Nene continued to throw out different things she and Greg were allegedly told by Mark as their fight got more intense. That's when, according to sources, Nene began to make a hawking sound as if she was preparing to spit in Kenya's direction. We can't say for sure if spit actually flew, but our sources say that at least one cast member heard Nene say she was going to spit on Kenya during the finale taping. I believe it. I mean, camels spit, but moose are like kind of, they're in the camel family. They're not dromedaries, but, they close enough. So I could see a moose spitting like a camel spits. Okay, now this is very interesting. Heavenly has a 3-story closet, and I'm already more impressed with it than Toya's. The first floor is like her knock around the house, run to the office shit, scrubs, dress barn, very everyday. Then upstairs, she has a pretty display case for her shoes. I see natural light. I see plush carpeting. Her display areas are just better. Her shoe and her bag collection, it's got its own little wing, and it's very nice. These bags are beautiful. Everything's on display. It's neat. Not as much glass or lighting, but there's natural light, so you don't need as much of that. And she has a full 3 floors worth of clothes. A full 3 floors. I mean, she don't dress like shit, but she got a full 3 floors. The top floor is like, I guess, her Watch What Happens Live wear, reunion dresses and stuff like that. I mean, it's still Heavenly's taste, but, she got more than Toya. Also, the furniture is better, the lighting is better, the space is better. I'm sorry, Toya. Heavenly won this one. She has a nice bar. It's a wet bar. I didn't see a wet bar with Toya. Heavenly got a refrigerator. You ain't got a refrigerator. I didn't see a refrigerator. She got a little office. I'm sorry, Toya. Your shit needs work and natural light. Well, those were today's top stories, but I'll see you soon for something.
Alleged what? Alleged who? Allegedly, allegedly. Don't blame, don't sue. Allegedly, allegedly, allegedly.